bango wana papa na ngai bayebisi bango baza na bokono nzambe bamosusu ya sida bamosusu diabete papa bamosusu prostate bamosusu cardiaque o nzambe na ngai o nani apesa lobiko Elike esila nzambe na ngai utabakata batrompe nkolo na bomoi akanisaka ta lisusu kobota te talande.
Yes, hello everybody. I am very happy to meet you again, Kinshasa and Brazzaville. Brazzaville, we've seen your call. I mean, last time you have sent the call. You have sent a message, please, and we saw your call. And without no more delaying, you know how I'm used to saying that you'd better call your brothers, your sisters, fathers, mothers. Tell them Mr. Mike is there, your humble servant. And Let's Speak English is available. I take the time of thanking the president of Working Churches, the General Bishop Albert Kakenza Monambo, and Cordon Emechibango. I greet you. Thank you for your congratulations. Thank you for having congratulated me and Max Mbenga, the fashionable pro. Today we are going to speak about ungratefulness and unfaithfulness. Why people are ungrateful? Why people are unfaithful? And I receive for you today Mr. Ben Kalala. He is the president of American community in American Embassy, if I'm not mistaken. And Mr. Jimmy Matiti works for American Embassy. Mr. Fabrice Muchipai, it's not the first time, it's his habit, you know. He's a student at University of Kinshasa. Okay, of course. I'll start by Father, Mr. Ben Kalala. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Yes. What news?
I'm doing very well.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. First of all, I need you to give your impression about elections in US.
You mean the elections in the United States?
Give your impression.
Well, I am very happy today as well because I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, and I received a call from the United States that Barack Obama was re-elected as the 45th president of the United States. It's a joy to see him again being re-elected because the work that he has done for his country.
Yes.
I'm not happy just because he's black, but I'm happy because of the work that he has performed because, as you know, Barack Obama inherited a situation as a chaotic when you talk about the economy. But the last 4 years that he was at the White House, he did his best so that today Americans can have hope. Hope is the key.
Hope. I think it not by any chance he succeeded.
He succeeded.
Yes. Thank you very much. The first question is that, Father, I need to speak about convention. For instance, today we are speaking about ungratefulness and unfaithfulness. You can be the owner of the company. I mean employer. I'm your employee. For the first time I come, we are talking together about the salary. You tell me, yes, Mike, I'm going to pay you $200 per month. But the first month, you pay me normally, according to our convention. The second you change, instead of paying $200, you change, you give me 100. Do you see? Why it's difficult for us to respect the convention? This is unfaithfulness. What can you say about that? Because it's making film all over Kinshasa, our country. I need to say something about it.
Well, it is not good to see what happens, the way you described it. When you hire somebody to work for you, you sign a contract, and you're supposed to be binded by that contract. Sometimes here, what really hurts me is to see that people go to work and at the end of the month, they're not even paid. People go to work for 3-4 months before they even see a salary. We're talking about minimum salary, $100 a month. How can someone live here in this country with $100, even $200, when the rent alone to rent a house, it's like $50 for a small room, $100 if you have a one-room living room and a bedroom, $200 if you have two bedrooms with a living room, and you work for $100, and your boss at the end of the month makes you wait for 2 months, sometimes 3, 4, 5 months. I've seen it here. This is bad practice. I mean, where I come from, in the United States, we don't see that because people have the rights. People have the rights. If an employer acts the way that the employers here are acting, they will be in trouble. But here in Congo, for some reason, I think the employers, they think they have all the rights in the world to do whatever they want to do to mistreat the workers. It is not good practice. I know it's unfaithfulness, but they don't respect the contract, the deal that they have with the employers. It's a very bad situation.
Yes, of course, but we have the government. The government sees that, I mean, the government let it like this. They treat people as they need. The government has also the word, the speech of telling them something.
It is the responsibility of the government.
Yes.
If employers have to be bound, they have to respect certain laws, employment laws.
Yes.
That means when you hire somebody, you pay them the salary. They have to be related to your agreement. Okay. Now, if the employee is not happy about the salary, if the employee is not happy about the way he's being paid, meaning that he's not being paid regularly, the employee should have the right to contact the government. You should have government agencies. I don't know what the department, the Ministère du Travail et de la Prévoyance Sociale, for example, okay, the labor department. That's what it is. That should be, the role should be to protect the employees. That is part of responsibility for the government. But what is done here in Congo, unfortunately, you'll see that employers have more rights than employees. You go and accuse your employer to the Department of Labor. I'm talking about here the Ministère of Travail et de Prévoyance Sociale, for example. You will see that your employers, because he has more money than you, because he has more connections than you, it goes there and your case will be put aside. And the retaliation, you have the risk of being retaliated. You may lose your job.
It means there isn't the law in our country.
There is
what
a
about
law.
the law?
There is a law. It's supposed to be.
Because he has much money, it's his for him to corrupt.
This country, unfortunately, we have the law. The law is made to serve the people. Okay? But unfortunately, what we see here, people are serving the law. People are messing around with the law. Because what we call here influence, trafic d'influence. You'll see that Lebanese in this country.
Yes, in addition to them.
Especially them. They come in this country, they think they can do anything in this country. They're mistreating the Congolese people. Now Chinese people start doing the same thing. Mistreating the Congolese employees. And where is our government? Where is our government to protect our rights? To protect our workers, the employees' rights?
But they are going also far away even to take the knife, killing people.
Where is justice? When it comes to justice, okay, I've seen, when I came here recently, I've heard a story about the Lebanese that made Congolese women wear certain type of clothes because they went to work with what we call traditional clothes, pannier. And the Lebanese boss did not want them to dress like that. They wanted them to dress a certain way. And the Congolese women revolted.
Yes.
Okay? They rebelled because they didn't want to do what the Lebanese person told them to do.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ben. I appreciate your way of responding. Okay, Mr. Jimmy Matiti. Mr. Jimmy Matiti, I need to tell you something. So, ungratefulness, is it something innate, natural, or a bad feeling?
Thank you very much, my brother Mike, for inviting me, first of all, into a TV show. Let's Speak English. This is my first time ever I'm here. Talking about ungratefulness is something very, very bad in the life. And if I can come back about what my elder brother has just spoken here, about ungratefulness and how the government is treating people here in Kinshasa. I have been a victim of that once with those Lebanese. And
so explain it.
I've been hired for the first time ever. They said they're going to pay me $450 a month. I have signed a contract for that. The first month they have paid me $350. It missed like $100. And then I have claimed for that. I said, hey, listen, we have signed a contract that you're going to have to pay me $450. Why you have paid me $350? Where's my $100? They've said, no, there is a mistake. They've been mistaken about calculation. We're going to come over after that. And that meant that on the next month they have to pay me more than $450. So it means $450 plus $100 that missed on the first salary. They didn't do it. And I have written a letter to my general manager. I said, hey, listen, you don't respect our engagements. It means the next month if you don't do it, I will resign. And they didn't do it. So people have got to step up. I personally resigned after that. It means do not let anybody minimize your skills. You have to respect your skills. So first of all, before someone else respect it. People are like, okay, in Congo there is no job. We can treat people like the way we want. But if you, my brother, watching me at home right now, you trust in yourself, you know what are you able to do, you will never allow anybody plays with you. You will be strong and very tough and strict. I have resigned.
So please, you know, when someone doesn't have money, you see, the man is unable, the man is weak. You see, it was difficult for him to find a job. But after having taken, they are ill-treating him. I'm sure that the man can give up, even if they ill-treat him.
Listen, there is something very interesting in the life people have got to know. I've been in America like my brother here. America say nothing venture, nothing have. Everybody has a skills that God has given to him. If you don't really acknowledge that, trust me, you will never go forward. It doesn't mean that you have been suffered for a long time to get a job. So when you get into a job, people can treat like they want, like trash. Get the hell out there. You can create. You can create another job. You can create something for you. For example, all of us speaking English here, for example. You can create even a center. Of course, you're not going to have a good money, I mean like good salary from people going to teach in DRC, for example. But you are going to have something that's going to be helping you. Meanwhile, you're going to be looking for another job. So it doesn't mean that if job is very tough in DRC, you can let anybody place you the way he wants.
Yes, thank you very much. Mr. February, say something, okay? I was speaking about something natural or innate. Today, if you have your baby, you see, you buy the bread for him. It was bought by you. You buy the bread for him, but he's eating. After sometimes when you ask him, he refuses. But it was given by you. Don't you see that it's something natural? Because who taught him?
Thank you very much for the floor, Mr. Mike. I think when we talk about that kind of topics about ungratefulness in our societies, in the life we live, we need to understand first of all that it's not acceptable, right? So when you say, for example, you have a baby, that baby using such of things, you know, I'm not agree, okay? I'm not agree that that baby can do the such of things. But I want just to make clear about those people. I mean,
go ahead.
They're from to say exactly about what's going on in this country. We need to understand that in the world we live, even in the United States, but unfortunately I've never been there. I have both guests there. They have been there, right? So I think don't think that when you have somebody at the end, that's man going to. It's not. He doesn't have an obligations, you know, to help you. See, that kind of thing is natural in the world we live. You see what I'm talking about? But I'm not agree with that kind of practice. We need to understand that when you do it, it's wrong. Okay? Talking, for example, about its nature I don't think that is natural. I'm not agree, okay,
Yes.
with that kind of practice.
Yes, thank you very
Yes.
much. Give the microphone to Mr. Ben. Mr. Ben, you know, first of all, I need to know about unfaithfulness in this country. Let's speak about musicians, okay? I mean the word musicians. We know the way they are coming for the first time. You see? And they fashion you, they model you, they shape you. You have a certain value. After sometimes you decide to give up. Instead of giving up, I mean without insulting, you start to insult your leader. Look at him, did nothing for me. Even insulting. Why this unfaithfulness?
Well, I'm kind of surprised that you touched that point, speaking of musicians, because it is a very common situation, especially with our musicians, ungratefulness. I'm speaking, for example, by experience, because I produced one of the top musicians here in Congo. I really don't want to call his name, because I used to produce musicians in the United States, Congolese, as a promotion for the Congolese music. Maybe I should. So when he hears this, he can change. In 2001, I produced Kofi Olomide in Atlanta. But what I received from him is nothing but ungratefulness. 2 years later, I met him in Brazzaville, and I said hello to him. He acted like he didn't even recognize me. The guy came to my house in America. I produced him the best show in America of his band. Now, he just does not recognize what we do. One of the main problems also, our musicians are not grateful, is because they treat us Congolese producers, and when I used to be a producer, they treat us Congolese producers differently than they treat Cameroonians, or Guinea, or Malians, or Senegalese. Those producers, they look at them differently than they look at us. That's why we say, there's a saying that say, nul n'est prophète chez lui. Because you can do something good for your musicians, but they're not grateful about it. But a Senegalese that produce them, they will sing them, they will do this for them, they will do anything for them.
You know, Mr.
I don't
Ben,
know why.
that's what I'm saying. It's interesting, okay? I'll give you the time of taking the rest. But Mr. Patumudiasa, we give you the time of giving us the time of listening to music, okay? After sometimes we're going to come back. Yes. What's wrong? I'm troubled. Yes. Okay. Yes, thank you, Mr. Petumidiosa, for this break. I need you to come back about what you were speaking about. Yeah, about Kefalomide and so forth. Yes, it was about Kefalomide.
No, what I was talking about is the ungratefulness that we find among our musicians. You know, we're not used to produce music. We produce music. We spend as much money as Senegalese or foreigners can also spend to produce our own musicians. But unfortunately, sometimes, especially the one that I talked about, the concert I did in 2001, the film in Atlanta, you do whatever you have to do to promote the Congolese music, but you get nothing back but ungratefulness. People that don't recognize you for your effort to promote our own music. So that's what I'm saying, that this practice, those musicians that have those practices, they need to stop. They need to stop, because the money that's spent from a Senegalese or a Malian or a Lebanese to produce you, and the money that your fellow Congolese is spending to produce you is the same money. It's not because we're from the same place that we cannot respect each other, respect the contract. You will see that the concert is supposed to start at 10 o'clock. You have people full in the room at 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock the musician shows up. No, they don't even respect the contract. They don't even respect the agreement that you have with them.
Yes.
And they play for 3-4 hours and the concert is over.
So can you remember us about the year? It was 2019, the time of this agreement.
2001.
2001,
that was in
yes.
2001.
Yes.
I'm happy to say that that's the only concert of film we did that went well in the United States. Because after my concert, he did other concerts in the United States. That one went very well. But our musicians, they need to stop. They need to start recognizing. And also our musicians, if I have something to tell them, is that they have to have the love for this country.